Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and you guessed it, we're looking at some more Chaos models from Raging Heroes, and I keep saying this, and well, it bears repeating, but I really have enjoyed their Chaos releases as of late. We started off with our big Chaos Lord guy, looking like he stepped out of an Adrian Smith painting with just all kinds of spiky goodness. Quite the impressive visage there on his face. Well, that is his face. A little familiar. And I have diligently been working my way through. I've painted maybe at least 4 of them, maybe 5. I only have 3 handy from the first Chaos release, but I am slowly and diligently trying to work my way through to the point that Raging Heroes is now released even more. And I thought, well, let's show a couple of them off because, number one, they're really cool. But number two, they started doing something differently with a few of their models. I really dug this banner bearer. Quite impressive. Obviously with those helmets and headdresses, it's going to give a very specific God of Blood motif, if you will. I could see that being an issue if you, say, sway in the other directions of certain Chaos Gods, if you want to play those in your tabletop games of choice. A Chaos Sorcerer. And again, it never ceases to amaze me that these are all single-piece sculpts. Just love the bulky 90s-esque shoulder pads. We don't see a lot of that these days anymore. Even War Machine seems to have gotten a bit leaner in its aesthetic. Good old Chaos Executioner here. Might want to be careful because the connection points between the severed heads, Spike, and his rack are all quite delicate. Somehow I managed to keep it in one piece. Chaos Star on his back there. Speaking of things that we managed to keep in one piece, some of the Chaos Ladies. Again, they're quite busy models, and it just really impresses me that I have not managed to break them yet. It's like I've tried my best. You can see there's a few little supports here and there that are still in need of removal. I'm digging the Freddy Krueger claws. I don't think this is like a direct parallel to anything GW related, and I like that. I like when they're kind of off doing their own thing. This was an interesting one in that while she's got a bit of a pin-up pose there, they have her available with and without the helmet. Somehow managed to keep her chains in one piece. That is the end of it. I did not break that. Only chain I broke was of the Master Blacksmith. And I broke just the teeny tiny edge of it. And like you can see, he's got like his little pliers and tools of the trade all over him. Again, quite ornate. Quite detailed. Going to be a lot of fun to paint, even if they're all in red and black. Chaos Witch with multiple hands. Multiple piercings through her legs, no less. Pretty sure those are actually supposed to be her arms and not just some stuck on a trophy rack there. I have my suspicions who she might be used as. Speaking of that, this guy right here, I can't find where I put his base. He is in need of a big one. I really like his kind of skull mask there he's got under the cloak. They have a big mounted version of this guy as well. Sadly, we did not get his hound as a separate release, and I don't remember for sure if the original Chaos release had hounds of this style. I kind of wanted this guy without the pet, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. But no, actually what I wanted to talk about today were the new troops that they put out. So this is one of their heavy berserkers. Single piece. I like the double glaive thing she's got going on there. But that's actually not what I wanted to focus on. What I wanted to focus on was, for the first time in a long time, we got a model from Raging Heroes that looked like this. And yes, that is intentional. It's been a while. The very first releases that Raging Heroes did when they were starting up their Patreon were actually all multi-part, which was kind of a challenge at certain points. But this is one of the very first times, at least in terms of 3D printing, that we now have options. Now, I went ahead with the helmeted head, but these heavy berserkers actually do have unhelmeted versions as well, if that was something you were interested in. Now, this version has a sword. I want to say there is an optional replacement with a shield. I could be wrong. It does depend on the body, but the fact that we're even getting semi-modular troops, I think, is absolutely a good thing. The more options and variety, hey, the better, right? And I was also kind of curious, and since I'm filming this for myself, I went ahead and printed up one of the new, I want to say, was this a Heavy Berserker or one of the Chosen? This is one of the new Cavalry models from the second Chaos release, with the strange clawed pod feet. I'm thinking maybe a Vanguard proxy of some sort. I was a little disappointed that almost all of these troops were actually all rearing up on their horses. It would have been nice just to have a couple, you know, on traditional horseback, riding, galloping, what have you. And then just for comparison's sake, I went ahead and printed off the Big Boss from the previous release. I was curious how big she is in comparison. Pretty good size, and when I say pretty good size, because, you know, we need to have something in comparison too. My gold standard for ridiculously sized cavalry models, the Order of the Ashen Dawn from Conquest of Parabellum games. So the fact that she can almost go toe-to-toe with one of these guys at like close to 38 millimeters, that's saying something. They're pretty impressively sized models, using a nice competitor's Bestiarum Chaos Warrior. Fits in pretty well, actually. So that's a good sign to see. Honestly, really cool release. If you guys are into the Chaos stuff, I mean, I know not everybody is. Me personally, I really love it. You get a lot of interesting, visually distinct characters. Multi-armed sexy witch ladies, giant demons, grim reapers, heavily armored, double glaive, Naginata, Gelgu, weaponized variants, and they pair quite nicely with all of the other interesting craziness that we have seen from Raging Heroes. If you haven't had a chance, as always, we'll have those links down below. Do yourself a favor, take a look, while I take my sweet time trying to get these painted. And with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye!